but I wanted to hear more. It was great to hear them. They have some good stuff, but I wanted to hear more from them. And of course, it's sad that they couldn't get Johnny Depp and Yafikato and all that. That was one. The second, they were a little too negative on part 2. Not everybody, like Mark Patton and other people, Kim Myers, who star in the film. They're very positive about the movie. And Clue Gulager, who's interviewed, he's very, very funny in it too. But there's some jabs at the sequel, and I just sort of rubbed me the wrong way because I like the movie. But I think the reason I had a big bone to pick with it is that then part 5, there's still some people who jab at part 5, but it felt like it didn't get nearly enough jabs as part 2 did. And part 5, there's still jabs about how it was rushed and the script and the ending, how there was no ending during the making of the film. But I felt it deserved a little bit more jabs. But that was my own. The third thing is, like I said before, on the second disc, I would have liked to more on the novels, like the novelizations or the making ofs, and it would have been, it's 15 minutes. You could have done, 5 more minutes, just talking about novelizations and stuff, mentioning them, who wrote them, were they based on different scripts, Also the music, talk a little bit more about talk about the score of part 5, because I like the score from part 5 actually, or part 6, or some of the songs used, like "Are You Ready," or so like the song at the end of the first movie. People, if you don't watch the end credits enough, there's a song at the end of the first movie called "Nightmare." They don't mention that. They don't talk about that, and that would have been interesting. The fourth and main one is that there's certain stuff they left out that I was sort of pissed off. Like Lisa Wilcox and how come she didn't do much at the ending of part 5. We'll love to hear Lisa Wilcox's thoughts or people's thoughts. Like how come Alice doesn't do a lot in the ending of part 5. They mention it briefly, but I wanted to hear talk on Wes Craven's New Nightmare about that scene that you see in the trailer with all the Freddy people, like a bunch of Freddy heads, like the people dressed as Freddy, like in the highway sequence. What was that scene about? Why was it cut out? Where's the deleted scene? Because I don't remember from the movie. If it's in the movie, please let me know and I'll rewatch it again. But I don't remember it. I remember in the trailer where it's during the highway sequence, there's a bunch of Freddys, and they mention 5 seconds, 10 seconds maybe. But I wanted to hear more. Like, what was it about? Why was it cut out? They don't mention the fact that in the deleted scene of part 1, Heather had a brother. Why don't they mention that? That would have been interesting. What did Heather Langenkamp feel about it? What did Wes Craven feel about it? What's the reason for cutting it out? And the main thing I was pissed about, it's my favorite scene in the series. There's no mention of Alice getting ready in part 4, the Dream Master. And I was really pissed off about that, because I love the music, I love the montage. I would love to hear the thoughts behind it. What was the inspiration behind it? What was the music? Specifically the music. It's not "Don't Be Afraid of Your Dreams," because it's a different beat. Did someone else compose it? Did they go West band who did that? Did they compose it and change the beat? How did Lisa Wilcox feel doing that scene? And they never talk about it. They never mention it. And that pissed me off. So those were the 4 things that, if it had those things, it would have been perfect. But obviously nothing can ever be perfect. Which sucks, but it's true. Nothing can ever be perfect. But now that I say that, I'm sure I said this would be short, but I'm sure it's long as hell again. Even though it doesn't have that stuff, I urge everybody to buy this as soon as possible. This is definitely the best documentary of the three that was made, this is the best. Again, 4 hours, you get a lot of info. It was great seeing all these people, Mark Patton, Kim Myers, Ken Sagoes, Ronny Yu. It was great seeing these guys again. They obviously have a lot of love for the franchise. A lot of good tidbits. I'm like, oh, really? I'm like, oh, wow, cool. You know, I think it leaves you wanting more. You know, and you know, there's other, like Friday the 13th. They made books about it, like big, gigantic info pack books that you will know everything about. They've never really done that for all the Nightmare on Elm Street films. They haven't really done that. Like the one book I have, mainly if it talks about the film, it just talks about special effects scenes, and that's it. They've never done a be end all like Crystal Lake Memories type book for Elm Street. So again, if you like Elm Street in any way, definitely pick this up. It's worth your time, it's worth your effort, it's worth your money. Big seal of approval. Although once again, I would love to hear a little bit more from Lisa Wilcox, Ken Sagoes. I would love to like some of that stuff, like Lisa Wilcox getting ready for Freddy, a little more in Indian Part 5. How come Lisa Wilcox doesn't have much to do? You know, stuff like that. And they were a little too lenient on Part 5 and a little more picky on Part 2, it felt to me. But other than that, this is a solid movie, well, solid DVD, I should say. Definitely pick it up. It's worth your time. It's definitely worth your effort. And, you know, I look around and, you know, if you want to hear, you know, there's not many great DVDs coming out lately, but this is definitely one you should pick up. So thanks for watching, and take care.